We're also extremely fortunate to have a friend, a colleague, and truly a mentor and teacher, Rabbi Jeff Salkin. Your introduction says that Rabbi Salkin has been quoted in the USA Today and the New York Times. He's also been quoted in this congregation many times as well, sometimes with attribution, and sometimes it's just in the footnote, and I want to pass it off as my own because I love how Rabbi Salkin thinks and how he writes. And to tell you that Rabbi Salkin's work is prophetic and prescient, in that he is often speaking about what's on our minds. I will share with you that on our rabbinic listserv and Facebook group of the Reform Rabbis, often Rabbi Salkin will provide us articles with the title, "Here's the sermon you're planning on giving but haven't written yet for this Shabbat." And talk about being a rabbi's rabbi. Nothing could be a greater gift. There is intellectual integrity that we won't just take his sermons and give them as our own, although many times I would like to. But so often we are quoting his words of Torah. And so I asked him to give us just a teaser this evening for what we're going to hear over dinner, which we'll get to quite soon. But Rabbi Salkin, if you'd please, welcome.
Shabbat Shalom. You know, all my life, when I've gotten up to speak, people will say to me, "Jeff, be short." It's just too late for that. It really is a privilege to be with you this evening, and to be with you this entire weekend really is a gift that I have been planning on for quite some time. I think I could give you another interpretation of the direction of the mezuzah, noticing that the mezuzah goes like this. That's actually the trajectory of my travel. I actually live at this part of the mezuzah of North America, and I've traveled to this part of the mezuzah, coming here from South Florida, getting reacquainted with the cold. It has been a great mitzvah, and I look forward to this weekend. I must say to you that this is the 50th anniversary of my discovery of Leonard Cohen. As a young teenager, I fell in love, first, I confess, with his poetry, and then later with his music. I still have the first book of his poems that I ever bought. Just to tell you how long ago it was, as I just did, 50 years ago, it was $2. And I wanted to share a poem with you that he wrote now more than 50 years ago in one of his first major collections called The Spice Box of Earth. And over dinner, I'll talk to you about the several Leonard Cohens. I will speak to you very briefly about the fact that he had a full-blown career, as most of you know, as a great Canadian literary figure, even before he ever recorded an album. He didn't start recording until he was 33 years old, which, by the way, in rock music is virtually ancient. This poem is called Out of the Land of Heaven, and he dedicated it to Marc Chagall. Out of the land of heaven, down comes the warm Sabbath sun into the spice box of earth. The queen will make every Jew her lover. In a white silk coat, our rabbi dances up the street, wearing our lawns like a green prayer shawl, brandishing houses like silver flags. Behind him dance his pupils, dancing not so high and chanting the rabbi's prayer, but not so sweet. And who waits for him on a throne at the end of the street but the Sabbath queen? Down go his hands into the spice box of earth, and there he finds the fragrant sun for a wedding ring and draws her wedding finger through. Now back down the street they go, dancing higher than the silver flags. His pupils somewhere have found wives too, and all are chanting the rabbi's song and leaping high in the perfumed air. Who calls him rabbi? Cart horse and dogs call him rabbi, and he tells them the queen makes every Jew her lover. And gathering on their green lawns, the people call him Rabbi, and fill their mouths with good bread and his happy song, to which we might simply say, Amen.